the ability to work from home skyrocketed, and the people who are working from home realized, I'm getting more work done, I'm more efficient, I'm enjoying my job more, I'm enjoying my life more. Why would I ever give this up? There's a huge crash on the horizon for corporate real estate, and it shouldn't surprise anybody, but it is going to take down a whole lot of people who are holding that corporate real estate debt. Hey, my name is Christopher Yule, and if you're just tuning in, we cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data says about it. And if you're interested in that too, be sure to definitely hit the subscribe button down below. And start trading with AI today. Go to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. So, a severe crash is coming for the U.S. office properties, investors say. And it makes total sense, right? Back in the day, commuting to the office was normal. Back in the day, people got on the subway, people drove 2 hours to work each day, people gave up their lifestyle to go and get their paycheck. But not anymore, right? Thanks to COVID, the ability to work from home skyrocketed, and the people who are working from home realized, I'm getting more work done, I'm more efficient, I'm enjoying my job more, I'm enjoying my life more. Why would I ever give this up? And then you've got managers who are really sitting on both sides of the fence, and those managers are saying, on the one hand, we're getting so much done. Nobody actually is complaining like they used to. Office morale seems to be high, and yet we have really no breakdown in productivity. And then you've got the other managers who are saying, I need butts and chairs. I need to be able to physically see these office workers getting things done. And they're at big odds with that. But the truth is that the workers who are doing the work, the ones who are actually making these white collar jobs, they don't want to go back into work because they've really built a lifestyle around working from home, being efficient, being productive, and living a lifestyle that they really are comfortable with. But the problem is that the employers, right, the people who invested in this corporate real estate structure, they are looking at this like, ooh, we've got a big problem on our hands. In fact, I believe it was JP Morgan is actually calling people back into the office and having like crazy monitoring systems where they're literally monitoring with a camera the people at their own desk in the office to see how productive they are. And the whole goal with that is to keep their butts in the seat so that their commercial real estate values don't start to plummet, right? Because if nobody's going to the office, then the office buildings themselves are going to become worthless. What's the point of having an office building if all of your workers are working remotely? So they're trying to call people in to keep the values of those propped up, but that's not going to help them, right? Office prices are due to crash, and the commercial real estate is about to, The office prices in the U.S. are due for a crash, and the commercial real estate market faces at least another 9 months of declines. That's what I was trying to say. Even greater majority of these commercial real estate prices won't hit bottom until the second half of 2024. And that's bad news for $1.5 trillion of commercial real estate debt that, according to Morgan Stanley, is due before the end of 2025. So what does that mean? There's $1.5 trillion of commercial real estate debt that's being financed. And a lot of that is going to need to be refinanced before 2025. But the problem with that is that they were all created in a post-2008 era where rates were artificially low for a decade or more. So with rates now approaching 7, 8, or even higher percentage points, the people who took out the loans for this commercial real estate, they're not going to be able to make enough money to pay for that refinancing that they're going to need to do. So not only is the property value going down, let's say if it started at $1 million for this piece of property, now it's down to $650, if you could even find a buyer at $650. But now they're going to have to refinance it, and they probably still owe most of that $1 million, and their financing costs has basically tripled. The companies that have this debt are in huge, huge trouble. We're going to have to sell these at a loss is what they're thinking. And nobody wants to sell at a huge loss. The properties that don't need to be sold for a long period of time, they're not going to, right? They're going to delay holding that sale off as long as they can. Offices are struggling with tenants cutting back or moving out. And office workers are much more reluctant to badge in the United States. And about 20% of respondents moved further away during COVID, but only 3% say they regretted it. In fact, my neighbors across the street, as soon as COVID happened, they moved straight from California here to Texas. And everybody moved to Texas, it seemed like, recently. And it really was because how much work can they get done here in Texas, where the cost of living is lower, real estate's lower, everything is better off than in California. Basically all of them. All of them can do the same job here because the internet still works between here and there. And only 3% of the people who up and move for a better lifestyle are regretting it. And I don't blame them. I think that this is honestly the way of the future, and it makes total sense to me. Let's take a look at what the AI stock trading data says about Wells Fargo, who holds a ton of real estate in their portfolio. We got a sell signal back on September 27th for Wells Fargo. And so if you are a Wells Fargo stockholder, you may be looking for a time to get out. Now might be that time. And if you want to get access to these AI trading signals, go to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. Now let's go see what the internet says about this, right? This article that we're talking about here. But people are saying lots of empty offices. They are building them and staying empty. Investors, get ready to lose your shirts, right? Now this person says, is it possible to turn this into flats or apartments? And this is what other people are saying, right? Maybe they could convert them into condos or senior living facilities. And I don't think that's a bad idea. But the idea is a little bit harder to execute because of zoning, because of regulations, because of all the red tape with the government. But it's actually a really great idea. We've got a lot of people who need affordable housing, especially with rates going up as high as they are. Maybe we could take these empty office buildings and put them into something new and useful, like affordable housing. Hey, if you like this video, YouTube thinks you're going to love one of these two. Thanks for tuning in to today's Outlier Live. I'll see you on the next episode.